Oh, there we go. Shalom, family. Yeah, we was having technical difficulties. Oh, there we go. Shalom, family. Yeah, we was having technical difficulties.
Oh, man, I'm tripping.
Yeah, Watchman Baruch. Yeah, we meet again, family.
Yes, sir.
Shalom, family. Iris, shalom. King Corp, shalom. Troy Thomas, shalom, bro. Tuvaya, shalom.
You got the axe.
Agdino, shalom. So you did.
Sect of the Nazarene, shalom, family. Ain't Troy Thomas Uncle Obed brother?
You see that?
Troy Thomas. I think that's his brother.
Shalom, brother Malcolm.
they clouded out.
Boy, they be clouded with them. Go ahead, get on in, bro.
No, that's all right. I'm okay. You know, my beard ain't groomed today.
This dude.
No, man. Shalom, family. Shalom. Print Blake, Howard Brown, Howbeit Thou, Randall Darden, Howbeit Thou. It's raining out here. Simply Jake, shalom. Tell my brother I said shalom. Lamb's Book of Life, shalom is thou.
That'll be my phone. What
you looking for?
Oh, my cell phone. Get my cell phone.
Oh, this one. Howbeit thou, A to the Z, yo. Like that. They be having some names on here to whereas don't nobody know who they is for real. That's good. Stay up under the radar from the feds because they watching.
Oh yeah, they watch.
You know what I mean? Zion, shalom, 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 shalom. Shalom, Gladstone and Jamie Morrison, shalom, family.
It's raining everywhere, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, it is raining out here. It's raining like a mud.
Yeah, man, we got a beautiful lesson. All praise to the Most High and the only begotten beloved Son. Gonna feast here in a second.
Mm-hmm. Oh, A to the Z. They from New Zealand.
Push, my brother, man. What art thou? What art thou is? Well, yeah, bro.
Shalom. How is that? What is New Zealand? New Zealand is
they got like don't ask
Polynesians and stuff.
Don't ask me that question.
I don't even know what New Zealand is at.
Don't ask me that question.
Well, welcome to the site. We just your brothers out here in the United Snakes of America. Trying to make it out there to Israel, and we try to follow the commandments of the Most High and try to wake up our people out here. If you are Israelite, out there in New Zealand, wake your people up and warn the heathens, that the judgment is coming. But wake our people up out there. So shalom, welcome. Welcome. Yes, sir. It's all good, Push. You know what I'm saying? I got a new phone too, man. So I'm gonna have to get your number from Nehemiah. I know he got it, or from Mally or somebody. And we'll just send a text or something, you know what I mean, and let you know we coming up, coming down here, whatever the case may be, or if you need me to read for you, just call me, or if I need for you to read for me, I'll give you a call, Push. Sarah Yah, Shebrew, Shalom, Mel, 9494. Is that the brother in Kansas City? I don't know. It might be, it might not be.
You said put it in the WhatsApp. Okay, bet. Yeah, we're gonna go and get it started. We're gonna open it up with the Psalms.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What song we go reading tonight, my brother?
Psalms 127.
Psalms 127. 20.
Now we're gonna do 131 first. Yeah.
Okay, 131. Psalms 131.
With the Most High's permission.
All right, y'all. Y'all know how we do it. Stipulated according to the word. We face the east. We raise up our hands like young children, you know, wanting to get picked up. And just like your children at home, even if you don't pick them up the first time they come running towards you, they keep their hands up. Eventually, you go pick them up.
That's right.
So continue in prayer without ceasing. Right now, we're gonna read the Psalms 131. Are you ready, my brother?
I'm ready.
Psalms chapter 131. Yahweh, my heart is not haughty, nor mine eyes lofty. Neither do I exercise myself in great matters, or in things too high for me. Surely I have behaved and quieted myself as a child that is weaned of his mother. My soul is even as weaned child. Let Israel hope in the Most High from henceforth and forever. Hallelujah. Selah. Well, that was short and sweet, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
That was short and sweet.
Short and sweet and straight to the point.
Yes, sir.
So with that being said, family, Shalom. So today we got a lesson called the battle within and the battle without. So the battle within, basically we already know the battle of man, you know, the flesh and the spirit, and the battle without also of men, the flesh and the spirit. So we're gonna go into you know, a couple scripts that we read all the time, but you know, we're gonna get some understanding today, as always. So may the Most High be with us all in this lesson, and let's get her done.
That's right.
So the question today to everybody on the board, would you say you was what is your birth? When I say your birth, are you born of the spirit or are you born of the flesh? So that's the question. You ain't got to type it on the board, but just something just to meditate on. Are you born of the spirit or are you born of the flesh?
Mm-hmm. You asking me? Because I from how that question right there opens up, you know, in my mind's eye, to whereas I came into this world of the flesh, obviously, and then being in Christianity, you know, and thinking that, you know, I knew the truth, that I was walking, you know, in the spirit sometimes,
right,
you know, and then in the flesh, you know, and just battling, you know, because of the Christianity doctrine. Now that you know, I was awakened to the truth of the matter that we are the children of Israel. You know, my spirit is like the parable of the dry bones, the valley of the dry bones. My spirit has been awakened,
right.
But my spirit is like, you know, limsy, if I'm saying it right, and frail, because, you know, I wasn't get true understanding, you know what I'm saying, from the word, and the word is food, you know, to my spirit, to my soul. And so as the years has been going by, my spirit has been getting stronger and stronger.
All praise.
To fight that battle of the flesh that wants to continue to show its ugly head within us all. Which one are you going to first, my brother? Within us all.
So we're going to start it off in 1 Corinthians chapter 15. And we're going to start in verse 45. We're just going to hit two verses. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 45. Oh, shit. 1 Corinthians chapter 15. We're just going to hit two verses. We're going to hit 46. We're just going to hit 46.
1 Corinthians 15, verse 46. Howbeit that was not first which is spiritual,
right?
But that which is natural.
Right. So the first birth of man and female is physical, right? So this is the physical birth. When a man and a woman come together, carnally, they come together and then they produce a child. So that's the first birth, right? So that's the physical, that's the flesh. So we actually see that being manifested, right? Come on.
And afterward, that which is spiritual.
And afterwards, that which is spiritual. So now, if you go back to like Adam and the Messiah. So Adam was of the earth. That was the first one, right? So that's the earth one. Then you got the Messiah, which is the spiritual. So us putting on the Messiah, first we come in the flesh. That's our first birth. And then our second birth is of the spirit, right? So we just gonna hold it there. I just went there just to show how we are physical and then we become spiritual. So the battle within man is spiritual and physical, right? Come on. We're going to go to Galatians chapter 4. So we're going to start the lesson off in Galatians chapter 4. This is where we start the lesson.
Galatians 4.
Yeah, we're going to start in verse 22.
Got it.
Yeah. Terry for you, brother. Galatians chapter 4, verse 22. Come on, bro.
Galatians chapter 4, verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can put it in there too.
Okay.
Galatians chapter 4, verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
For it is written.
For it is what?
For it is written.
Right.
That Abraham had two sons.
So it says Abraham had two sons, right? For it is written, Abraham had two sons. So we know his two sons was Ishmael and Isaac, right?
Okay.
And we all agree with that. Ishmael and Isaac. Come on.
The one by a bondmaid.
So the one by a bondmaid, right? And we know that bondmaid was Hagar, right?
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
The other by a free woman.
By a free woman. That free woman is Sarah, right?
Okay.
Come on.
But he who was of the bondwoman was born after the flesh.
Was going after the what?
After the flesh.
So I'll let you know right here, Abraham had two sons, right? The first son was after the flesh. He laid down with Hagar, and they had Ishmael. That was after the flesh. So that was his first son.
By the bondman.
By the bondwoman, right? If you think about where she came from, right? She came from where? Egypt. So bondage is Egypt, right? So the first woman who he laid down with, it was like, if you look at it on a spiritual aspect, it's just like she kind of represents like bondage or slavery, right? Come on.
But he who was of the bondwoman was born after the flesh.
Was born after the what?
After the flesh. But he of the free woman was by promise.
All right, so look, when Abraham was talking to the Most High said, look, you're going to have a son. But he was thinking that he was talking about Ishmael, right? But the promise was through Isaac, which is Sarah. Come on.
Which things are an allegory?
Which are what?
An allegory.
All right, so an allegory is then, it has a deeper meaning behind what really took place. Though he was telling us, okay, look, the Most High, Abraham had two sons. One was of the flesh and one was of the spirit, right? So that's what he's trying to tell us. One is of the flesh, one is of the spirit. So that's why when he went back and he was telling, Paul was telling the Galatians, like, look, this here,
Shalom, bro.
Shalom, bro. This here it's an allegory. It has a deeper meaning. Come on.
For these are the two covenants. The one from the Mount Sinai.
So remember, Hagar wasn't at Mount Sinai. So what is he really talking about? He's talking about Israel receiving the law, statutes, and commandments at the Mount Sinai, right? So when they received the law, statutes, and commandments at Mount Sinai, it represented Hagar, because Israel, when you read Galatians chapter 3, the Galatians, they thought that they would be justified by the works of the law. What he was trying to tell them, like, look, you're not justified by the works of the law. You're justified by the belief in the Messiah, because if you was justified by the works of the law, it wouldn't be no need for the Messiah. That means he
right.
came and died for no reason. We wouldn't need the Messiah if you was justified by the works of the law. So he letting you know right here, okay, since y'all not getting what I was trying to tell y'all the first time, I'm going to give it to you in allegory, just like the Messiah gave it to him in parables. He said, look, I'm going to give it to you in allegory, right? That he had two sons, and that which was first is physical or natural. That which is second is spiritual, right? Come on.
The one from the Mount Sinai, which gendereth to bondage.
It's gendereth to what?
To bondage.
Because Israel, they became into bondage of the law, right? They thought they was justified by the law and not by faith. Come on.
Which is Agar.
Uh-huh.
For this Agar is Mount Sinai in Arabia, Arabia, excuse me, and answereth to Jerusalem,
right,
which now is, and is in bondage with her children. But Jerusalem,
right,
which is above is free.
Where is it?
Which is above is free.
So we all talking about the New Jerusalem, right? So in Revelation chapter 21, John said he saw. Go ahead, bro. You can pull.
No, go ahead. Oh,
yeah, he finna pull it real quick. Revelation chapter 21. He gonna go to it real quick. Yeah, verse 1.
Revelation chapter 21 and verse 1. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away.
Right.
And there was no more sea. And I, Yachanan, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem,
right,
coming down from Yahweh out of heaven.
And notice he called it the New Jerusalem, right?
Yes, sir.
And he said this Jerusalem is from above. So when he was talking about Isaac and Ishmael, it says Ishmael represented the Jerusalem that was down here on earth. That's the physical Jerusalem. He said this Jerusalem now that I see is coming from heaven. That's the spiritual Jerusalem that represents Isaac. Okay, you go back to Galatians, yeah.
Back, I'm gonna do 26 again. But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all.
Right. So it said that's the mother of us all. That's who we are birthed through. That's why Christ, he told them what? I'm from above, you are what? From below.
Right.
Come
on. Verse 27. For it is written, rejoice, thou barren that bearest not.
Right.
Break forth and cry, thou that travailest not. For the desolate hath many more children than she which hath an husband.
Right. So go back to Hagar and Sarah. Sarah got more children than Hagar, because even though Sarah was desolate or burned during that time, now she has more children than Hagar because of the promise that God had made with Abraham. We are that promise. We are that promise seed that the Most High had made with Abraham. Come on.
28. Now we, brethren, as Isaac was, are the children of promise.
Right.
But as then he that was born after the flesh.
Born after the what?
After the flesh. Persecuted him.
Did what?
Persecuted him.
So it's letting you know right here, it's a battle without. This is a battle without. It's letting you know right now. Him that was born after the flesh persecuted him that was born of the spirit. So those that are born after the flesh always try to kill those that are born after the spirit. So it goes back to with Isaac and Ishmael. Ishmael was born of the flesh, right? He was born of Hagar, and Isaac was born of the spirit. So when the Most High told Abraham, he said, look, this time next year, your wife is going to have a child. But he was thinking, he was talking about Ishmael. And remember, he laughed and Hagar laughed. It's like, okay, what's going to happen? So that's a spirit.
Sarah laughed.
Yes, I'm sorry. Sarah laughed. There's a spiritual birth that was going to take place the next year around. Come on.
But as then he that was born after the flesh persecuted him that was born after the spirit, even so it is now.
So you know, like what happened back then with Isaac and Ishmael, that's the exact same thing that's going on right now. So he was trying to tell them that before but they wasn't listening. So he said, you know what, look, I'm gonna give it to you in a parable, just like the Messiah did. You know, it's like, look, I'm gonna give it to you in a parable, or what they call allegory, so they can get it. So he like, it shows you like he put on the Messiah. Come on.
Verse 30. Nevertheless, what saith the scriptures? Cast out the bondwoman.
Do what?
Cast out the bondwoman.
So if you casting out the bondwoman, if the bondwoman represents flesh or represents slavery, wouldn't you want to cast it out so it would not live with the spirit? That's our whole walk. It's to what? Conquer the flesh, so you can live in the spirit. So you can live with the spirit or in the spirit. Come on.
And her son.
And her what?
And her son.
Come on.
For the son of the bondwoman shall not be heir with the son of the free woman. So then, brethren, we are not children of the bondwoman, but of the free.
His name, you know, she said, I need to listen to this again. I'm already lost. Yeah, so long story short, what's that? Woman of the past. So what we're proving right here, that Isaac and Ishmael, like, okay, if you got any questions, sis, you can just write it in a comment, or I could just give you my number, or Neil, it's right here.
Who has a question?
Woman of the past. She said she already lost.
She just probably have to hear this a little bit more, because it ain't even came together yet. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just listen, sis. We're gonna try to put everything together so you can get it. So at the end, what we're trying to show is like Isaac represents the flesh, or those that are born of the flesh.
No,
I'm sorry. Ishmael represents those that are born of the flesh, and Isaac represents those that are born of the spirit. And we're trying to show like it's not just you going through your walk with your flesh and spirit battling your mind, but also with other people of the world. So when the Messiah, or when Paul, when he went to the churches and whatnot, what he did was he was telling them, like, look, this is the Messiah. Everything that we was doing, that's not right. Look, he was trying to show them the Messiah throughout the text. So he was baptized of the Spirit, because before he was killing people who believed in the Messiah. Right. Acts chapter 7 through Acts chapter 9 tell you like he was going and persecuting those that believed in the Messiah. So he is of the flesh right now, persecuting those of the spirit. So it's then, you know, it's a war between the flesh and the spirit, whether it's of you in your own mind, or physical people, or, you know, brothers or sisters, or whatever the case may be.
Brothers and sisters, some brothers might be walking in the flesh, and you walking in the spirit, and they perceive that your good is evil and their evil is good. Right. You know, there's a battle right there already. And then also too, there's a battle within inside our own self. When Paul was saying, I don't know if you got that, when Paul said, you know, the things that I want to do, I do not.
Right. Yeah, I get it.
You know.
Yeah. So Romans chapter 7. So it just ain't, you know, it's like
just hear the lesson.
Right. Just take some time, I think once you hear the lesson or whatnot, and just pay attention to everything that's going on in the lesson, then it'll paint the picture of what we saying.
Exactly what the Bible's saying.
What the Bible saying. Correction.
Yeah.
Look. Okay. With that, we're gonna go to Joshua chapter 16 real quick.
Joshua chapter 16.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Sure.
Joshua chapter 16. Judah Moshe, how beest thou, my brother? That's right, boy.
Listen to that dude.
You know, where your jacket at, man? You trying to catch a cold? Okay. You know. Oh, that's for old. Okay. Joshua
chapter 16.
We doing nothing right now, my brother.
You feel gonna read? You feel gonna read?
I'm waiting on. Hold on.
This Joshua chapter 16, verse 23.
Joshua chapter 16, verse 23. Mm-hmm. And Sarah, the daughter of Haran,
right,
Abraham's wife, was still barren in those days. she did not bear to Abram either son or daughters. And when she saw that she bare no children, she took her handmaid Hagar,
Right.
whom Pharaoh had given her, and she gave her to Abram, her husband, for a wife.
Mm-hmm.
For Hagar learned all the ways of Sarah as Sarah taught her. She was not in any way deficient in following her good ways.
Right.
And Sarah said to Abram, behold, here is my handmaid Hagar. Go to her, that she may bring forth upon my needs, that I may also obtain children through her.
Right. So here you see Sarah talking to Abraham. She's saying, look, I can't have any children. So take Hagar, my handmaid, and lie down with her and have children with her so I can take them so they could be my child. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
And at the end of 10 years of Abram's dwelling in the land of Canaan, which is the 85th year of Abraham's life, Sarah gave Hagar unto him. And Abram hearkened to the voice of his wife Sarah, and took his handmaid Hagar.
Mm-hmm.
And Abram came to her, and she conceived.
Right.
And when Hagar saw that she had conceived, she rejoiced greatly, and her mistress was despised in her eyes.
Right. So now you see Sarah mad because Hagar, now she conceived. But remember, she asked Abraham to lie down with her so she could conceive.
Yeah, Hagar over there looking like, you know, girl, I'm with child.
Right. I'm with child. You know what I'm saying? She's like, oh yeah, Abraham must love me.
I'm with child. Because it was like a disgrace not to have children back in those days. You know what I mean? You being barren as a woman, you know.
Nerd. Come on.
And her mistress was despised in her eyes. And she said within herself, this can only be that I am better before Yahweh than Sarah, my mistress.
Right. So now Hagar, she got the big head. She's like, okay, look, I must be better than Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
Abraham laid down with me and we got baby.
Yeah, right.
All right. What bro said? That's that baby mama drama.
Mm.
And you can see what Uriel is bringing out in the class is that the bond thought it was better than the spirit.
Most definitely. So
just like Paul, before he became spiritual, he thought he was better than those who believe in the spirit of Christ.
Exactly. So yeah, bro. So he's bringing it out. Now you know right here, Hagar. I keep mixing up. Hagar is representing the flesh. She thinks she is better than the spirit, right? So that's the battle right then and there. It's like, look, she represents bondage. She represents slaves. She represents sin, right? Sarah represents what? Freedom. Represents the spirit. Come on.
For all the days that my mistress has been with my master, she did not conceive.
Right.
But me, the master has caused in so short a time to conceive by him. And when Sarah saw that Hagar had conceived by Abram, Sarah was jealous of her handmaid.
She was what?
She was jealous of her handmaid. And Sarah said within herself, this is surely nothing else but that she must be better than I am.
So till this day, it's just like when you, with your everyday life, like your spirit gets jealous when you keep entertaining the flesh, right? The spirit and the flesh, they're contrary to one to another.
Right.
So when you keep doing the things that are of the flesh or of the world, the spirit gets jealous. It gets mad. Right. And then the flesh gets mad when you're actually trying to live your life in the spirit.
What happens when you have that reprobate and does your spirit change, or does the spirit comes away from you and now you are
you're given over to a carnal mind?
And so not only is your flesh wicked now, your spirit too also
most definitely
now.
You got a wicked spirit.
Excuse me.
Because if you're at war with your flesh and you're trying to manifest the spirit, and we're saying this is war, somebody gonna wind up losing. Now, if your flesh wins this war, you lose the kingdom.
Right.
I say it again: if your flesh wins this war, because Paul, you know, he is at war and dies daily.
Big time.
You know what I'm saying? With to carry our cross daily. You know what I'm saying? So if you find yourself always giving into your flesh nature, I don't give a man, what happened was being spiritual.
Right.
Being brotherly and coming together and fellowshipping and being on one accord. And instead of you preaching separation and hatred, and you know what I'm saying. You look at your brother, and you man, he's like, you know what I'm saying, walk away, bro. It says, man, if you hate your brother, you already a murderer.
Murder.
You see what I'm saying? Because Christ came to make everything spiritual. So that should be Israel's focus, to obtain that which is spiritual.
Spiritual, most definitely.
Great lesson.
Come on, bro.
This is verse 30.
Oh, my fault. I said, who can see that screen? Y'all can't see the screen?
You gotta go, what you call it, yeah. And then you gotta move it when reading it.
I'm sorry, fam. Look, I'm new to this on this side.
But you got glasses on. You should look.
Oh man, look, I'm talking about my glasses, bro.
I'm just saying, you know, people with glasses, they look. It seems like they smarter. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
Look, when them
you know, you know, it's a spirit. When he go around, everybody get petty.
Hey, boy, you ain't lying.
That's the problem.
Then, like, you know, reading it, you just move it to the side.
Can y'all see it now, fam?
I see you side by side. You showing the screen.
Okay, it's showing. Okay,
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
okay.
Is it are you buffering?
Not on my screen.
Okay, cool.
I mean, he gonna have a few seconds delay, but look,
Okay,
he moving.
cool. Go ahead, bro.
They still say can't see.
See?
It's big over here, family.
All right, this is what you do. Everybody who can see the screen, give you a 9.
Whoever can see the screen, give me a 9.
And read it.
Oh, somebody. Oh, okay. Awakeness. I got it on TV.
Oh, okay. They got big screens out wherever they at. They got big screens around there. Okay, verse 29. No, verse 30.
Okay.
And when Sarah saw that Hagar had conceived by Abram,
Right.
Sarah was jealous of her handmaid. And Sarah said within herself, this is surely nothing else, but that she must be better than I am. And Sarah said unto Abram, my wrong be upon thee. For at the time when thou didst pray before the Most High for children, why didst thou not pray on my account, that Yahweh should give me seed from thee? And when I speak to Hagar in thy presence, she despises my words, because she has conceived, and thou wilt say nothing to her. May the Most High judge between me and thee for what thou hast done to me. Verse 33.
Okay.
And Abram said to Sarah, behold, thy handmaid is in thy hand. Do unto her as it may seem good in thy eyes. And Sarah afflicted her.
Right.
And Hagar fled from her to the wilderness.
All right. So think about this. It's like Abraham told Sarah, he said, look, whatever you want to do to her, just do it. Whatever it is what it is. She afflicted her and she went to the what? The wilderness, right? So anytime you're in the wilderness, what does that represent?
Hard times.
Hard times, right?
Yeah.
So anytime you're in the wilderness, it represents what? Hard times, or it represents what? Darkness, right? So when we had the scapegoats or whatnot, you had one that you kept for the Most High, and that was Christ, and then the other one you sent out there to the wilderness, right? So when you sent it out there to the wilderness, they went out there to die, right? So she sent Hagar, the flesh, out to the wilderness to die. She afflicted her. She sent her out there to die. Like, look, leave her on her own, right? Come on.
And an angel of the Most High found her in the place where she had fled by a well. And he said to her, do not fear, for I will multiply thy seed.
So I will what?
Multiply thy seed.
So now you got the angel of the Lord giving her command that he will multiply her seeds, right? You got an angel saying he will multiply her seeds. Come on.
For thou shalt bear a son, and thou shalt call his name Ishmael.
Right.
Now then, return to Sarah, thy mistress, and submit thyself under her, and submit thyself.
So now he's telling her, look, go submit yourself unto Sarah. So he's telling the flesh to submit itself to the spirit. That's the kind of mindset we need to be in. We have to make sure that our flesh is in how you say it? Submission to the spirit. Thank you, brother. So yeah, so right here, the angel of the Lord is telling the flesh to go submit to the spirit.
Yes. Y'all get the allegory now. Is y'all getting the allegory now?
So now the allegory, that's what Paul Paul was trying to tell Israel. Like, yeah, that's what we read. You know what I'm saying? Submit, let the flesh submit to the spirit. Come on with it, good. We're gonna go to we're gonna go to Genesis chapter 21. Do y'all see what's going on, family?
Y'all begin to see.
I'm sorry, Jasher 21.
Okay.
Okay, all praise. I just want to make. I know it took a minute to build it up, so yeah, we just just had to build it up or whatnot, so everybody can see what we was talking about: the battle within and the battle without.
What verse?
We're gonna go to chapter 21. I'm sorry, family. Hold up. I made it small so I can go back. Bear with you, brother.
Just to recap what the brother's saying while you're looking is that what y'all just reading is that the flesh should be always in subjection to the spirit.
Most definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Which if you go back and use what he's showing you in his allegory is that Hagar should always be in subjection to Sarai, right? Because she was given as the bondwoman. You see what I'm saying? Never to usurp authority over Sarai, never to think that you're better than Sarai, never to try your mindset and think you gain favor with Abraham, who in this allegory would be the Most High.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So the allegory, your players are the Most High, right? Flesh, you're dealing with Hashatan, right? And Christ, you're dealing with self.
Most definitely.
You see what I'm saying? So if you can see the players on the table, you can see the allegory a little bit better. And both of them are trying to please the Father.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? Who gonna deal with man? Or the future of man?
Or the future of man, right. Most
you see what I'm saying? Who gonna deal with the nations going forward? You know what I'm saying? Is it me or the flesh? Or is it him or the spirit? I'm the one who's down here doing the work. Even though you cast me out, I'm down here doing the work.
Right.
Now, it might not be the perfect work, but I got my boots to the ground. Me too. He up there in the heaven. You hear Hashatan?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Got him.
Got him.
But even to answer it just real quick, she was called she called Sarah her mistress. In the Hebrews, the Hebrew word Geberet, it can mean mighty, it can mean war, but in this case it means authority.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It means master.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that even goes to, you know what I'm saying, for those who read the Torah.
Come closer.
Those who read the Torah, and when you looking at Genesis 16, when she called mistress, look at that word. It's the word Gebareh. The root word is Gabar, as in Gabar El or Gabriel. You know what I'm saying? Which means what? A mighty one of God, a warrior of God. You know, so it represents authority. You know, so I just want to add that.
All praise. Good edification.
Yes, shalom. But most definitely, do not submit to wicked spirits, unrighteous spirits. I agree.
Right, because the Bible tells you to try the spirit.
But
make sure it's on the Most
But
High.
do it tell you to try the flesh? No.
Because you're going to always cater to it.
You're going to always cater to it. It never says try the flesh.
Because the flesh ain't never meant to win.
Never meant to win. It says try the spirit.
Especially when you read 1 Corinthians 15 and you understand that you got to share this anyway.
You got to share it.
This can't make the kingdom. Why is you dealing with it? When you find yourself in your feelings, be like, is this and these feelings and this flesh going to get the kingdom? Drop that flesh and them feelings and get back on that spirit.
Right.
21 verse 11.
That's right. We're in Jasher chapter 21 verse 11, family. Bear with you, brother. Can y'all see it? It's gonna be kind of off to the right a little bit because I'm trying to make it as big as possible so everybody can see it, but it's gonna be slight off.
It's small, but it's over.
I'll make it bigger.
How you make it big?
I think over there on the sharing screen, they have the option to make you small and make the picture big.
There you go. And then just move it when I'm reading it, go like that. Oh, you don't want to do all that, huh?
I'm gonna mess up. It's like every time I do that, I'm sorry, family, but every time I try to do that, I be messing up.
How about I do it?
Yeah, okay, y'all can gonna do it.
And Ishmael, the son of Abraham, was grown up in those days.
Right.
He was 14 years old when Sarah bare Isaac to Abraham. And Yahweh was with Ishmael, the son of Abraham. And he grew up and he learned to use the bow and become an archer.
So now you got Ishmael, right? He learning how to use a bow. He got the bow. Shalom, sis. He got the bow, right? So he's learning how to use the bow. He was taught how to use this bow, right? Come on.
And when Isaac was 5 years old, he was sitting with Ishmael at the door of the tent.
Right.
And Ishmael came to Isaac and seated himself opposite to him.
So now you got Ishmael and Isaac. They sitting across from each other, right? Come on.
And he took the bow and drew it and put the arrow in it and intended to slay Isaac.
So now you got the flesh trying to kill the spirit, right? So he's sitting across from Isaac. He's like, all right, I got this bow. He got the bow and arrow. And he's looking at Isaac like this. And remember, he's 13 years old and Isaac's 5. He's trying to kill the child, just like the Pharisees or Herod tried to kill what? The child, which was the Messiah, right? They tried to kill the child. So whatever was promised to that child would not come into fruition. Come on.
Bro, if I may say this, he was 19 years old and Isaac was 5.
I'm sorry, 19 and he was 5.
Yeah.
But you see that he's trying to kill what? The spirit. The flesh is trying to kill the spirit.
And it ain't like he was a young boy. You know, he knew exactly.
Right, he knew what he was doing, right?
You know
because he was taught how to use the bow.
You know, yeah.
He was taught how to use the bow. Remember what the Most High already said he, you know what I'm saying, said he was. His hand gonna be against all his brothers.
Verse 15. And Sarah saw the act which Ishmael desired to do to her son.
Right. So
Isaac.
Sarah, the spirit, right? The spirit sees what the flesh is trying to do to her son, which is the spirit. She's like, oh no, She saw it, her spiritual discernment. Remember, she represents what? The spirit, right? Hagar represents what? The flesh. Come on.
And it grieved her exceedingly on account of her son.
Right.
And she sent forth for Abraham.
What she do?
And she sent forth for Abraham.
Right.
And said to him, cast out this bond woman.
Do what?
Cast out this bond woman.
So she telling Abraham, she said, oh no, this bond woman, this slave gets to go. Ishmael has to go. Her and her son got to go. Right. So this showing how the spirit is cutting off the what? The flesh. Saying the flesh got to go.
And her son.
And who?
And her son.
Come on.
For a son shall not be heir with my son.
Right.
For thus did he seek to do unto him this day.
Right. She say, look, they can't live together. He is not going to get the blessings that the Most High has promised to Isaac. He's trying to kill him so he can get it. It's like, no, that's not going to happen.
Verse 16.
Verse 16.
And Abraham hearkened to the voice of Sarah. And he rose up early in the morning. And he rose up early in the morning. What did he do? And he rose up.
What did he do? What did he do before that, though?
And Abraham hearkened.
So now Abraham listens to his wife, right?
Come
on.
To the voice of Sarah.
Right.
And he rose up early in the morning. And he took 12 loaves and a bottle of water, which he gave to Hagar, and sent her away with her son.
Right. So now you see Abraham, he sent Hagar and Ishmael away because of what? Sarah said they got to go because he's trying to kill who? Isaac, the son of the promise, or the spirit. If you look at it in that aspect of the allegory in Galatians 4, show you like, look, the flesh is trying to kill the spirit. She saw it. She's like, it has to go. So cut off your flesh. Remember, that's still Abraham's son of what? The flesh. Remember, it tell you it's 2 covenants.
Right.
Right. One is of the flesh. Right. So Isaac represented the flesh. So you say, look, you got to cut their flesh off. But the Most High even tells him that, look, I'm going to bless you. Right. Listen to your wife. I'm going to bless you. Just listen to your wife. So if you look at it in this aspect, just like, look, if you listen to her, I'm going to bless you because like it's showing how you get blessed once you cut off the flesh.
And like the Most High told this to Abraham, and Sarah overheard it too as well.
Right.
And she laughed at it. And it's like, you know, when the Most High tells us to do something or whatever, and then we listen to like our mind, you know, because it says that our mind is wicked. Who can understand it?
Right. No different.
And then, like, you know, sometimes we lean onto our own understanding, so we make wrong decisions and stuff like that, and then we have to get corrected. Which Sarah, the spirit form, mind form, told Abraham, hey, you know, have children by this bond woman. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And as we can see, put it in an allegory form on our walk, that sometimes we lean onto our own understanding.
Yeah.
Right.
So
listening to Sarah.
Right. Listening to Sarah. Like, so it's like you lean, like, right, most definitely lean to our own understanding, and that's what happened.
And then certain things like this
happen,
it turns out like this.
Most definitely. Good. Told out. No, that was it for that.
That was it. Okay.
Yeah, that was it for that. But we just want to make sure everybody gets some understanding. If y'all getting some understanding, put some 7s in the room.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shalom, family.
Shalom, family.
Shalom, nephew. How be as thou? Okay.
All praise. We got some 7s.
Come on, let's get it.
All right.
Told our Rabah. Who's that gave us alms?
Watchman. Told our
Kalab. Told our Rabah for your alms. May the Most High bless thee. With rain of the Holy Spirit. I'm not gonna say may the Most High bless thee with more shekels. No, you know what I'm saying? Because in a minute, money's gonna be obsolete. But we do appreciate it, what I'm saying, for the alms, and told our Rabah for all y'all help and y'all prayers.
All right, so we're gonna go to Acts chapter 7, family. We're gonna hit the last couple verses.
Acts chapter 7.
Yeah, Acts chapter 7.
Acts 7, last verses, like.
And we're gonna go to the last couple verses, family. Bear with me again if the screen all messed. Look, I'm learning. I'm gonna have it down pack one of these days.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have it pack too.
All right, we're gonna start in verse 55.
Got it. Acts chapter 7, verse 55. But he, being full of the Holy Ruach, looked up steadfastly into heaven and saw the glory of Yahweh, and Yahweh standing on the right hand of Yah, and said, Behold, I see the heavens open, and the Son of Man standing on the right hand of Yah. Then they cried out with a loud voice, and stopped their ears, and ran upon him with one accord, and cast him out of the city, and stoned him.
And did what?
And stoned him.
Mm-hmm.
And the witnesses laid down their clothes at a young man's feet, whose name was Shaul.
So this is right before Shaul has started his ministry, right? Because at the end of the day, you see, they just stoned who? Stephen. Stephen was representing what? The Spirit, right? So he was talking to his own people. Remember, he called them stiff-necked, right? Those that are hard to hear. He said, look, you resist the Holy Spirit just like your forefathers did in the wilderness, right? He letting them.
So the Holy Spirit was back then too.
Yeah, so the Holy Spirit was back then. So he letting them know, look, y'all stiff-necked, y'all. Let's say what script are they in? Bro, we in what's it?
Acts chapter 7, verse 55, 56, 55, starting at 55.
He said, what verse we in now?
My bad, I was reading too fast.
Right. Now we in verse 58. But going back to what we were saying, but it showed you right here that Stephen was representing the Spirit, and he was telling Israel that they kind of represented the flesh because they was here to stone him or try to kill him because he was telling them who the Messiah was. Remember, it said those that preach the word of God will be what? Persecuted, right? And it tells you in Galatians chapter 4 that the spirit, those that are born of the flesh persecuted those that were born of the what? Of the Spirit. Come on, verse 59.
And they stoned Stephen.
So now you see here right now, he's being persecuted. He's being killed, right? He's being persecuted, being chased down, being stoned, right? Come on.
Calling upon Yahweh and saying, Master Yahushua, receive my spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And he kneeled down and cried with a loud voice, Master, lay not this sin to their charge. And when he had said this, he fell asleep.
Right. Next verse. Next chapter, I mean. I'm burying my family. All right, there we go. Acts chapter 8, verse 1. Come on.
And Shaul was consenting unto his death. And at that time, there was a great persecution against the church.
Against who?
Against the church.
Right.
Which was at Jerusalem.
Mm-hmm.
And they were all scattered abroad throughout the regions of Judea and Samaria, except the apostles. And devout men carried Stephen to his burial and made great lamentations over him.
Right.
As for Shaul.
As for who?
As for Saul.
Right. So we're talking about Paul, right? Come on. Now remember, he didn't believe in the Messiah yet. He thought they was tripping. His whole thing was to kill everybody who believed in the Messiah.
That's right.
Right. So whoever believed in the Messiah, Paul's whole perspective or objective, what he wanted to do, he's like, look, anybody who believe in him, we're gonna kill him. So he's actually acting as the flesh, persecuting those of the spirit,
And put them in prison.
Which is bondage, right? Come on.
As for Saul, he made havoc of the church, enter into every house, and hauling men and women committed them to prison.
Right.
Therefore, they that were scattered abroad went everywhere, preached the word.
Mm-hmm.
Then Philip went down to the city of Samaria.
I just hold that. Now we're gonna jump over to Acts chapter 9. I just wanted to show how Paul was going out trying to persecute those that believed in the Messiah. Mm-hmm. Remember, he was a Pharisee. He knew the law.
Right.
He knew the law. Oh my goodness. Come on. Bear with me, family. I'm trying to get this thing down pat. Forgive me for my shortcomings. All right.
Lack of knowledge on how to navigate through.
Yeah, lack of knowledge how to, navigate this. But I'm trying to get everything. Can't do 100 things at once. I'm trying, family. Bear with your brother.
What verse you want me on, brother?
Start at verse 1. I'm just gonna read it out.
Acts chapter 9, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And Saul, yet breathing out threatenings and slaughter against the disciples of the master, went unto the high priest and desired of him letters to Damascus, to the synagogues, that if he found any of this way, whether they were men or women, he might bring them bound unto Jerusalem.
Right.
And as he journeyed, he came near Damascus, and suddenly there shined round about him a light from heaven.
So now Paul, he on this road to Damascus, right? Remember, he getting letters saying like, look, if anybody believe in the Messiah, whether it's man or woman, I'm asking for letters to kill him, right? Come on. So he's trying to persecute what? The spirit. The flesh is trying to kill the spirit. Remember, he knew the law, but he wasn't baptized by the spirit yet. He wasn't baptized by the Messiah yet. Come on.
Verse 4. And he fell to the earth and heard a voice saying unto him, Saul, Saul, why persecutest thou me?
What?
Why persecutest thou me?
Now remember, the flesh is trying to what? Persecute the what? The spirit.
The spirit.
Come on.
And he said, who art thou, master? And the master said, I am Yahushua, whom thou persecutest. It is hard for thee to kick against the pricks. And he, trembling and astonished, said, Master, what wilt thou have me to do? And the master said unto him, Arise and go into the city, and it shall be told thee what thou must do.
So now you see her, now he's getting the oracles or getting orders from what? The Spirit, which is the Messiah, right? He's telling him what to do now. Come on.
And the man which journeyed with him stood speechless, hearing a voice, but seeing no man. And Saul arose from the earth, and when his eyes were opened, he saw no man. But they led him by the hand and brought him into Damascus.
So now you see that what? He was blinded by the what? By the light, right? So the Messiah had to blind him in order for him to receive his mission.
So he had to afflict he had to afflict the flesh. That's sometimes that we only, you know what I'm saying, listen.
Right.
If the Most High afflicts our flesh. You know
Most
what I
definitely.
mean? That's a lot of time that stops us right in our tracks or whatever we was doing, because our flesh got afflicted. And to have us, you know what I'm saying, man, what's going on? Like might catch a bad cold or whatever the case may be. You know, might get a bump somewhere that doesn't belong there. You know, whatever, you know what I mean? Might get a bad case of athlete's feet or something. You know what I mean? I'm not, don't
right.
looking at me.
no. Right, most definitely though.
Well,
right.
I'm just trying to bring up, you know, something that afflicts you that, you know, you normally don't have or whatever the case. And that stops us, you know, for us to listen to the Spirit. But continuing on.
What verse you in?
Verse 9. And he was there 3 days without sight, and neither did eat nor drink. And there was a certain disciple at Damascus named Ananias. And he said to him said the most high and to him said the master in a vision, Ananias. And he said, behold, I am here, master. And the master said unto him, arise and go into the streets which is called Straight, and inquire in the house of Judas for one called Saul of Tarsus. For behold, he prayed, and have seen in a vision a man named Ananias coming in, and putting his hand on him, that he might receive his sight. Then Ananias answered, Master, I have heard by many of this man how much evil he hath done, how much evil he hath done to the saints at Jerusalem. And here he hath authority from the chief priest to bind all that call on thy name. But the master said unto him, go thy way, for he is a chosen vessel unto me, to bear my name before the Gentiles and kings and the children of Israel.
Right, so now Ananias sound like he afraid. He said, hold on, wait a minute. You want me to go and get Paul or Saul right now? Go get Saul, the same one who been killing everybody who believe in you. You telling me you want me to go and make him see he about to be part of the fold now? What he tell him? He said, look, go do what I told you to do. He chosen. I chosen him. Come on.
And Ananias went his way and entered into the house, and putting his hands on him said, Ak Shaul, the master, even Yahushua, that appeared unto thee in the way as thou camest, has sent me, that thou mightest receive thy sight, and be filled with the Holy Ruach. And immediately there fell from his eyes as it has been scales, and he received sight forthwith, and arose, and was baptized.
And was what?
And was baptized.
So now you see where Paul has became baptized. So now Paul is what? Now he's becoming what? The son of what? The Spirit. He's no longer the son of the flesh anymore. Now he is about to be persecuted for believing in the Messiah. So everybody, he's going back to the churches that brought him up, and now they're going to try to persecute him because they like, hold on, wait, ain't this the same person who 2 weeks ago was trying to kill everybody who believed in the Messiah? Now you telling me that he is the Messiah?
Right.
I'm gonna hold it there.
Hold it right there.
Yeah, we're just gonna hold it right there real quick, family. We're gonna go to a couple verses where Paul went through his battles. We'll go to Acts chapter 23, and we're gonna start on verse 12.
Acts 23 and 12.
Yeah.
And this right here, you can put in a lot of things that's going on in this world. You know what I mean? The spirit and the flesh, Hagar and Sarah. You know, there's a lot of things that we can compare. You know, compare to if we're looking at it. You know, like how you watch the movies and stuff like that, and you like, and you see little signs of the truth in it. You know, like, oh, let's talk about scriptures right here. You can compare it to that, like how we do.
Oh, right.
You know, we can see that like with Hagar and Sarah being born of the flesh, being born of the spirit. With what you're doing right now, Paul coming. They just finished stoning Stephen. The Israel. You know, the head leaders of Israel finished stoning Stephen. So they're part of the flesh. Stephen was a spirit.
Right.
You know, the battles within. You know, if we're reading it with an open mind to be like, you know, compare these things. You know, saying with certain things, everything match up. You know, so everything can match up, and it's easy for us to get an understanding of it. It's not difficult. It's not hard. We just have to be
open-minded.
Exactly. Thank you for those words. Because I was looking for the right big word to say. You know what I'm saying?
That's all good, bro.
You know, Judah, why you got that sticker right there, man? That's my staff, man.
I was about to be saying something petty.
I know you was.
Yeah, no,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, bro,
yeah,
I know you.
I
was.
can feel it.
You know, you my brother. I know my brother.
That's all.
That's why I kept on like, you know, not trying to catch eye contact.
Ain't no entertain this cat.
You know,
Hey, come on with it.
where we at?
Acts chapter 23.
Yeah, okay, I got it. Which verse, my brother?
Verse 12.
Verse 12. Is that's your cousin?
Yeah.
That's your flesh and blood, brother?
It's my wife flesh and blood,
Oh,
but you
okay,
think
cool.
me and him was good.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Acts chapter 23, verse 12. And when it was day, certain of the Jews banded together and bound themselves under a curse, saying that they would neither eat nor drink till they had killed Paul.
Until they had did what?
They had killed Paul.
They made a covenant with each other. They like, look, I ain't gonna eat or I ain't gonna drink until, let's make a covenant with each other. Like, look, we ain't gonna eat or drink until we kill Paul, right? Right. Straight up. It's like, look, we ain't gonna eat or drink until we kill Paul. It's like, what did Paul do to make them like want to kill him? Because remember, at first they was with Paul, but now they want to kill Paul, right? Because Paul has became what? The child of the what? The spirit. He's no longer the child of the flesh. Come on.
Verse 13. And they were more than 40 which had made this conspiracy.
Right, so now you got 40 people trying to kill Paul because of what he believed in now. Come on.
And they came to the chief priests and elders and said, we have bound ourselves under a great curse, that we will eat nothing until we have slain Paul. Now therefore, ye with the council signify to the chief captain that he bring him down unto you tomorrow, as though ye would inquire something more perfectly concerning him. And we, or ever he come near, are ready to kill him. And when Paul's sister's son heard of their lying in wait, he went and entered into the castle and told Paul.
Right.
Then Paul called one of the centurions unto him and said, bring this young man unto the chief captain, for he hath a certain thing to tell him. So he took him and brought him to the chief captain and said, Paul, the prisoner, called me unto him and prayed me to bring this young man unto thee, who hath something to say unto thee.
Right.
Then the chief captain took him by the hand and went with him aside privately and asked him, what is that thou hast to tell me?
Right.
And he said, the Jews have agreed to
the who?
The Jews have agreed to desire thee that thou wouldst bring down Paul tomorrow into the council, as though they would inquire somewhat of him more perfectly.
Right.
But do not thou yield unto them, for there lie in wait for him of them more than 40 men, which have bound themselves with an oath that they will neither eat nor drink till they have killed him. And now are they ready, looking for a promise from thee.
Now look, he went to the high priest. He's like, look, these 40 men said they ain't gonna eat or drink until they kill Paul. So now he's telling him what they're talking about. He said, look, once if you deliver them up to him, they're gonna kill Paul. Why is it that they trying to kill Paul? Because he going to preach that the Messiah is the Messiah. They thinking he coming up with like some kind of new doctrine. They're like, hold up, wait a minute, this nigga tripping. He 2 days ago you was telling us that, or we saw you killing people that believed in him. Now you want us to accept him as our Lord and Savior. Come on.
I want to read Galatians 4:16. This is the reason. Well, it's something that a question is, you know. Am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth? You know,
right. That's
what happens. You know what I'm saying? When people start speaking out the truth or whatever, when not the fleshly part of a person, regardless if you might be in the truth or not, but your fleshly part, you know what I'm saying, if you hear certain things, you know, like when we see it all the time,
right.
You know, the scriptures comes out or something like that, and if a person already have a preconceived thought about something, and then the scriptures comes out to cut that, they secretly inside themselves, you know what I'm saying, don't like it. One, if they can't overcome that battle and be like, you know what, I'm just gonna accept what the scripture says and I'm just gonna, you know, keep going forward. Sometimes they don't have that aptitude or that strength to be like that.
Right.
So secretly inside their own mind or whatever, not, they start hating you for that because you bring out something, you know what I'm saying, that's contrary. Oh, I got a good, that this came out of my mouth. So contrary to what they're thinking or how they feeling or what they want to do in life.
So that you know is right then and there, it's a battle between what? The flesh and the spirit.
And that battle, boy, ain't no freaking joke, because that battle, you know what I'm saying, that battle used to have me sweating. Right when I'm talking to you, whatever, not, I get to sweating. You know what I mean? Like I'm up under interrogation because I'm battling for real, bro.
Right.
You seen it in people, you know what I'm saying? Right. When you talking to somebody, you know what I mean, about the script, they get to sweating, they get to shaking or whatever, whatnot, you know what I mean? The twitching and stuff like that. And it's uncontrollable. And that's a battle that's going on with inside you. Well, yeah, my brother.
Yeah.
Back at Acts 23.
Okay. I think we're verse 23 now.
And he called unto him 2 centurions, saying, make ready 200 soldiers to go to Caesarea, and horsemen 70, and spearmen 200 at the 3rd hour of the night, and provide them beasts.
Do what?
And provide them beasts,
right,
that they may set Paul on, and bring him safe unto Felix the governor.
Now we'll hold it there. But now it's going to show you right here how the spirit is what? Protected. It's 40 men trying to kill Paul, but this chief priest says, how many people? 70. That's a lot of numbers. So 70. What's that? 70?
Yeah. 70 horsemen and 200 spearmen.
To protect what? The spirit.
Yeah, we got that too by 2 Timothy 3:12.
Yeah, we got it. Bear with me, family. We're going to go here to Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2, and we're going to start in verse 12.
Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2.
Yeah, Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2. We're going to start in verse 12, family. Yeah.
Pick this one with the 2 heads. Okay. Nah, where you at? Wisdom Solomon?
Yeah, Wisdom Solomon.
Nah, that's bigger for them on screen.
Got you.
Your face.
Okay. Told Okay, apparently, Melly just fixed it. Earlier, they was like, "What is going on?" All right, so we did it. So it's big on the screen now.
You know how Israelites are. You know what I'm saying? They had some what is that called? Some computer type, tomatoes and stuff. They probably would have been throwing them at us.
Oh yeah.
You know. Man.
Oh yeah. So we're in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2, verse 12. Yeah, we're in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2, 2 and 12.
Therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous.
So now this had to be people of the flesh who are trying to lie in wait for the righteous people. Only those that are what? Of the flesh, right? Come on.
Because he is not for our turn,
right?
And he is clean, contrary to our doings,
right?
He upbraideth us with our offending the law, and objected to our infamy, the transgressions of our education.
Right.
He professeth to have the knowledge of Yah, and he calleth himself the child of the master.
So this kind of sounds like what? The Pharisees with the Messiah, right? Kind of sound like the Pharisees and the Messiah. It's like, hold up. He said he is the Son of God. He professes to have the knowledge of God. All right. With them, they thought they had the knowledge of God because they was what? They had the Torah, right? They had the laws, statutes, and commandments. But at the end of the day, it was all about the Messiah.
Right.
He was the Torah manifesting into flesh.
That's right.
Come on.
Right. Verse 14. He was made to reprove our thoughts.
To do what?
Reprove our thoughts.
Didn't the Messiah read their minds?
Right. Yeah.
He read their minds, right? How is it they still trying to what? Lie and wait for what? The righteous. They trying to kill. Here it is right here. The flesh trying to what? Kill the spirit. Come on.
He is grievous unto us.
He is what?
He is grievous unto us.
Right.
Even to behold. For his life is not like other men's. His ways are of another fashion.
So remember, they said what? The Messiah came down here and preached the what? Another doctrine. They were just like, what did he get his teachings from? He got and then people calling him what? Lord, Rabbi, they teacher. It's like, look, he got a new teaching. He got a new doctrine, right? Come on.
We are esteemed of him as counterfeits. He abstained from our ways as from filthiness. He pronounceth the end of the just to be blessed, and maketh his boast that Yahweh,
that who?
That Yahweh is his Abba.
Didn't the Messiah do that? He told you what would be the end for the righteous. He told them who? The Most High is my Father, right? But we just gonna hold it here. We're gonna go to John chapter 10 real quick. We're gonna start in verse 22.
And it says right here, verse 16, we are esteemed of him as counterfeits. So they are professing to be holy, to be godly, but they ain't.
But they ain't. What do you call them? They call them what? Hypocrites.
Right. John chapter 10.
Yeah, we're gonna start verse 22.
John 10, verse 22. And it was at Jerusalem, the feast of dedication, and it was winter. And Yahushua walked in the temple in Solomon's porch.
All right.
Then came the Jews round about him and said unto him, how longest dost thou make us to doubt? If thou be Hamashiach, tell us plainly. Yahushua answered them, I told you, and you believe not. The works that I do in my Abba's name, in my Father's name, they bear witness of me. But ye believe not, because ye are not of my sheep. As I said unto you, my sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. And I give unto them eternal life, and they shall never perish, neither shall any man pluck them out of my hand.
That's right. Come on.
My Abba, which gave them me, is greater than all, and no man is able to pluck them out of my Abba's hand. I and my Abba are one.
He said, look, me and my father are one. Remember, we just read in Wisdom of Solomon, they was talking about killing a righteous man. They kept calling he. They didn't say she, kept saying he. Because Fed said he's what? The son of what?
Yeah.
The living power, right? Come on. And then he said, me and my father are one. We on one accord, right? Come on.
Verse 31.
Verse 31, what did he say?
Then the Jews.
Then the who?
Then the Jews.
Right.
Took up stones again.
What?
Took up stones again to stone him.
Just hold it there. I just wanted to show y'all right here, the Jews are representing the what? The flesh, right? Christ is representing the what? The spirit. Here you got right here that the flesh is trying to what? Kill the what? The spirit. Because his words didn't sit right in them. They're like, nah, he's preaching another doctrine. So now you got where the flesh is trying to kill what? The spirit. Come on, we go back to Wisdom of Solomon. Yeah, we just gonna finish that Wisdom of Solomon out.
Verse 17. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2, verse 17. Let us see of his words be true, and let us prove what shall happen in the end of him. For if the just man be the son of Yahweh, he will help him and deliver him from the hand of his enemies. Let us examine him with despitefulness.
Now, think about when the Messiah was on the cross, right?
Yeah.
When he was on the cross, what did the thief say? It's like, if you be the son of God, what?
Get us down up out of here, man.
Get us up out of here.
Get you up out of here, and then get us up out of here too with you.
So the whole time they was trying to what? Reprove who? The Messiah. Trying to show him that he's not the Messiah. If you be the Messiah who you say you are, help yourself. Help yourself down. Come on.
Let us examine him with despitefulness and torture, that we may know his meekness and prove his patience. Let us condemn him with a shameful death, for by his own saying he shall be respected. Such things they did imagine.
So did they what?
They did imagine and were deceived, for their own wickedness has blinded them.
I did what?
Their own wickedness hath blinded them.
What did the Messiah call the Pharisees? He said, you blind leading the what? Blind. Come on.
As for the mysteries of Yah, they knew them not, neither hoped they for the wages of righteousness, nor discerned a reward for blameless souls. For Yahweh created man to be mortal, and made him to be an image of his own eternity. Nevertheless, through envy of the devil came death into the world.
Came what?
Death into the world. And they that do hold of his side do find it.
So don't be holding on to Satan's side, family.
Can't hold on to that flesh, man. You know, and by you coming out, you know, with these certain scriptures and stuff like that, it brings a thing that I heard a while back. It was like a story, you know, well, not a story, but like how they catch monkeys. And you know how they catch monkeys? They in Africa, they tie a chain to a coconut.
To a coconut?
To a tree, right? And they put something, you know, like they have a hole, right? And they put something like glittery in it, to whereas the monkey can slide his hand in a hole, right? And when he grabs onto the shiny thing, he won't be able to pull out. So when the monkey does that, right, he got the thing, and the monkey's, you know, sees the hunter coming, you know, and he's screaming out loud and stuff like that, running around or whatever, and the hunter just comes up, you know, and bop him beside his head. Now, all the monkey has to do, you know what I'm saying, is let go of the shiny thing.
Oh, right.
To get up out of the trap.
Right.
But we are like monkeys. You know what I'm saying?
You want to let the flesh go?
We won't let the flesh go. You know, we're gonna get rid of this flesh anyway. You know what I'm saying? It's like me having a pair of shoes, you know, that, yeah, they did his job, but I'm about to give me some brand new pairs of shoes. Throw these shoes away. They stinking now. You know, I can't even keep them in my room up under my bed no more. I got to put them by the door because they stinking. But all I got to do is just throw them away and go get my other shoes. But just like the monkey, all the monkey has to do is just let go of the shiny thing. But we can't let go of certain things of the flesh.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what will get us boop, right upside the head.
Good analogy. But we're in John chapter 11, family. We're going to start in verse 45.
John 11:45. John chapter 11, verse 45.
Go ahead, bro.
Then many of the Jews which came to Mary and had seen the things which Yahushua did believed on him.
Right. So now you got here where they tell you that all the Jews denied Christ. Right here it tells you that then many of the Jews which came to Mary, they believed on him, right? Come on.
Okay. But some of them went their ways to the Pharisees and told them, just like Israel,
right,
and told them what things Yahushua had done.
So now you got some of the Jews, they going to the Pharisees telling what he just did, right? Come on.
Then gathered the chief priests and the Pharisees a council and said, What do we? For this man doeth many miracles.
It's like, look, what we gonna do, man? He did too many miracles, right? Because we say he didn't do them, then we'll be alive. All right, come on.
If we let him thus alone, all men will believe on him, and the Romans shall come and take away both our place and nation. And one of them, named Caiaphas, being the high priest that same year, said unto them, Ye know nothing at all,
right,
nor consider that it is expedient for us that one man shall die for the people, and that the whole nation perish not.
That's right, come on.
And this spake he not of himself, but being high priest that year, he prophesied that Jesus should die for that nation.
Now look how the Spirit had moved upon him, and he's prophesying right here that the Messiah is going to die for the nation of Israel, right? For the forgiveness of what? Their sins. Come on. And it's right before Passover. Right before Passover.
And not for that nation only, but that also he should gather together in one the children of Yah that were scattered abroad.
Right.
Then from that day forth, they took counsel together.
They did what?
They took counsel together.
So now you got the Pharisees and the Jews coming together, right? Come on.
For to put him to death.
To do what?
For to put him to death.
So now you see how the Pharisee, anytime that you born of the Spirit, those that are born of the flesh, all they want to do is to what? Put you to death. The flesh always try to kill the spirit, no matter how you put it, whether it's physical or spiritual. The flesh always tries to kill the spirit because it doesn't want the word to go forth. Their whole thing was they was tripping off losing they high ranks and they position in Israel. They like, oh no, if we tell them, if we let him alive, then people gonna believe on him. Like, man, we gotta kill him, because if we don't, then guess what? Everything that we own and have, man, the Romans are gonna come down and take it from us.
Come, you got this, John 8.
Yeah, I got John 8.
Okay.
We gonna jump over to the next chapter, family.
Yachanan 12.
Yeah, Yachanan 12. We're gonna start on verse 1.
You there? Okay. Yachanan chapter 12, verse 1. Then Yahushua, 6 days before the Passover, came to Bethany, where Lazarus was, which had been dead, whom he raised from the dead. There they made him a supper, and Martha served. But but Lazarus was one of them that sat at the table with him.
All right.
Then took Mary a pound of ointment of spikenard, very costly, and anointed the feet of Yahushua, and wiped his feet with her hair. And the house was filled with the odor of the ointment. Then saith one of his disciples, Judas Iscariot.
Who?
Judas Iscariot.
Now, if you look at it for what it is, Judas represents what? The flesh.
Mm.
But remember, he went to them and told them where Christ was at.
Right.
So the flesh sold out. He got the Messiah killed. So that's why we have to be careful with a lot of things that we do. Like you can have a Judas mindset, or you can have a Esau mindset, because Esau, what did he do? He says what? He was hungry. So he said, well, the flesh is weak. He traded in his birthright because he was weak. What? Weak to the flesh. He submitted to the what? To the flesh instead of submitting to the spirit.
And also too, you know, I mean, it wasn't his spirit that cried. It was the flesh that cried when he didn't receive the inheritance, because he truly really wasn't sorrowful in his heart. You know what I'm saying? That this happened. He probably, the reason why he was crying is probably because, you know, his little brother got over on him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He couldn't have, you know, this, that, and the third. He knew that. But he wasn't sorry, you know, for anything probably else, just because his little brother got over on him. I'm a hunter, you know what I'm saying? I'm this, I'm that, you know what I mean? I don't look like the rest of you Negroes. No way. You know what I mean? I'm somebody special. You know, whatever he was thinking in his mind, you know what I'm saying? For him not to have a true repentance heart, that, you know what, man, I done messed up. Then said one of his disciples, John chapter 12, verse 4, Judas Iscariot, Simon's son, which should betray him. Why was not this ointment sold for 300 pence and given to the poor? This he said, not that he cared for the poor, but because he was a thief and had the bag and bear what was put therein. And
we know what? Thieves will not what? Inherit the kingdom of God.
Yeah. Okay.
Those are fleshly what? Matters. That's a thief.
And those are fleshly desires too. Then said Yahushua, let her alone. Against the day of my burying hath she kept this. For the poor always ye have with you, but me ye have not always. Verse 9. Much people of the Jews therefore knew that he was there, and they came not for Yahushua's sake only, but that they might see Lazarus also, whom he had raised from the dead.
Right, so they came, they like, look, I heard he raised somebody from the dead. I just don't want to go see Christ. I want to go see, was he really rose from the dead? Because everybody knew he died. They knew he died. Because at the end of the day, all Israel did, they was Satan. All they did was ran what? To and fro. They ran to the Pharisees, they ran to the high priest, and went back and telling each other what, you know what I'm saying, whatever happened during that time. Come on.
And again, the same spirit, man, when you look at it, you know, truly the same spirit is floating amongst us now today, you know, because we don't tell people, you know what I'm saying, because you around somebody, you know, that might not like us or whatever, not, oh, you can't come around because you around them. We don't, you know, we don't do that. But, you know, just like how it was right here when it says, and some of the Jews, it says some of the Jews went and told the Pharisees, you know what I'm saying, or whatever that. And I can see that happening here today. And we have seen that happening here today. So that same spirit, you know what I'm saying, is still flowing around, you know what I mean, to this day. As well as the spirit of Judas Iscariot, you know what I'm saying, on some of, you know, are the brothers and sisters that are around, you know, we could do this, that, and the third with the money, you know what I'm saying? Why you doing this with, you know what I mean? It's sickening, man. You know what I'm saying? It truly is sickening because you can see it. But the person that is doing this this thing or whatever, that they don't see it, but other people can see it. You know what I mean? And it's crazy. And that's why, and then you ask yourself, well, how come Christ didn't say nothing to Judas or whatever? Like, because he knew, you know, certain things.
Right.
He had to let it play out. He had to let it play out. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, bro.
Verse 9.
No, we're on verse 10.
Verse 10, excuse me. But the chief priests consulted that they might put Lazarus also to death.
So it's like now they trying to put who to death? Christ and who?
Lazarus.
And Lazarus. They trying to put him back to death. They trying to put him to sleep. Back to sleep. That's how powerful the Messiah message and his ministry was. It's like, look, everywhere they went, just like, look, they was trying to kill him because he was what? Of the spirit, and they was of the flesh. So it shows you that the flesh is always trying to kill the spirit.
Right, right. Verse 11.
Go ahead.
Because that by reason of him, many of the Jews went away and believed on Yahushua.
Yeah, that's it for that.
Okay.
I'm gonna jump back about 4 more chapters, family. John chapter 8.
Okay.
Bear with you, brother. Oh, come on. If y'all get some understanding, put some 7s in here. Oh, praise God. Get a warrior, huh?
John 8.
We're gonna start in verse 33.
33. Okay. John chapter 8. 22.
Nah, let's start in verse shoot, jump back for real. We get straight to it. I got 30 down, but we start in 28.
John chapter 8, verse 28. Then said Yahushua unto them, when ye have lifted up the Son of Man, then shall ye know that I am he, and that I do nothing of myself, but as my Father hath taught me, I speak these things. And he that sent me is with me.
All right.
The Abba have not left me alone, for I do always those things. For I do always those things that please him. And he spake these words, many believed on him. Then said Yahushua to those Jews which believed on him, if ye continue in my word.
If what?
If ye continue in my word.
This is how you know you are a disciple of the Messiah. If you continue in his word. Come on.
Then are ye my disciples indeed, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
Free from what? From bondage. Bondage represents the what? The flesh. Come on.
They answered him, we be Abraham's seed.
We be who?
We be Abraham's seed.
And remember, we were just talking about Abraham's seed in what? Galatians chapter 4. So one represented the what? Flesh, and one represented what? The spirit. Right? Come on.
How sayest thou, ye shall be made free? Yahushua answered them, verily, verily.
Now start over.
33 again?
Yeah, 33 again. You missed the bondage part.
Excuse me, my bad. They answered him, we be Abraham's seed, and were never in bondage to any man.
But now they saying they was never in bondage to any man, but y'all bondage to what? The Romans. How you say you're not in bondage to any man, but right now you into bondage to what? The Romans. And bondage to what? Sin. And bondage to what? The flesh. Come on.
How sayest thou, ye shall be made free?
Come on.
Yahushua answered them, verily, verily, I say unto you, whosoever committed sin,
do what?
whosoever committeth sin is the servant of sin.
Right.
And the servant abideth not in the house forever, but the Son abideth ever. If the Son therefore shall make you free, ye shall be free indeed.
That's right.
I know that ye are Abraham's seed, but ye seek to kill me.
But you seek to what?
But you seek to kill me.
He said, look, I know you Abraham's seed, but you seek to kill me. You Abraham's seed according to the what? The flesh, not of the spirit, because Abraham's true seeds are those that believe in the Messiah. Right? Galatians chapter 3 tell you that. Come on.
Because my word have no place in you. I speak that which I have seen with my Father, and ye do not, and ye do that which ye have seen with your father.
So now he telling them who their father is. He said, look, Abraham ain't your father. This who your father is. Come on.
They answered and said unto him, Abraham is our father. Yahushua said unto them, if ye were Abraham's children,
If you were who?
If ye were Abraham's children, ye would do the works of Abraham. But now ye seek to kill me.
To do what?
Now you seek to kill me, a man that have told you the truth, which I have heard of Yah. This did not Abraham. Ye do the deeds of your father. Then said to him, we be not born of fornication. We have one father, even Yah. Yahushua said unto them, if Yahweh were your Abba, ye would love me. For I proceeded forth and came from the Most High. Neither came I of myself, but he sent me. Why do ye not understand my speech? Even because ye cannot hear my word? Ye are of your fathers the devil.
No.
Ye are of your fathers the devil.
So you let them know right here, look, Abraham ain't your father. Your father is who? Satan, of the devil. That's your father. Come on.
And also,
and then go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
And then like you think about what John the Baptist told him. He said, look, say not within yourselves that we have Abraham as our father. He said he could turn these stones and make them the seeds of Abraham. So if it was all about the flesh or the outer cup, it's like, well, okay, then in that case, what about these stones? He just said he can turn these into the seeds of Abraham.
And look, right here it says in verse 37, it says, because he says, I know that ye are Abraham's seed, but ye seek to kill me, because my words have no place in you. Right? And then he goes down here in verse 42. And he says, if God were your father, ye would love me, for I proceeded forth and came from Yahweh. Neither came I of myself, but he sent me. And then this is a question that he asked, and see Christ. Well, Hamashiach, he was up
front, and he was over their head so many times. It's like they couldn't answer. Half the questions they couldn't answer because they knew if they answer it this certain way, he can say this. Or if they answer it like this, he can hold this. So it's like,
but the way he was look like this right here. He says, why do ye not understand my speech? Even because you cannot hear my words. So it's like, in a way, right? For just and Carl, he's like it's like he's saying, wait, nigga, you don't understand what I'm saying. Right. What are you deaf?
Deaf, right?
You know what I mean? But we know that it's so much deeper. But in a way, and I know he was checking those simple ones, and that was talking and grumbling too. Because only a simple person would be like, damn, he's saying, I'm deaf. Man, you saying I'm deaf? Let's stone him, you know what I mean? That type of stuff or whatever. Now let's fight or whatever the case may be. But for a more spiritual person, they'll be like, oh, okay, I got cut,
Right.
I got cut.
And then it's like, man, if you look at it for what it is, it's like what their whole thing was, they was trying to kill him. Like, right. Okay, look, if y'all supposed to be the teachers of the word or whatnot, y'all know thou should not kill. But he keeps saying, y'all seek to, what y'all trying to kill him for? Yeah, y'all walking around commandment breaking. Even on the Sabbath, when he was healing on the Sabbath, they wanted to kill him then. So y'all gonna kill on the Sabbath.
Want me to continue for 44? I don't know.
Oh yeah, you can continue 44. We're gonna drop it there.
Okay. Ye are of your father, the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it.
Yeah, that's it for that, family. Got one more. We got a couple more verses we're gonna go to real quick. But yeah, we just trying to show how the flesh and the spirit is always at war with each other. Until the Messiah comes back, the flesh and the spirit will always be at war with each other. Whether it's you battling yourself or you battling other spirits out here in the world. How you make this? How you go?
Yeah, put the two fingers on and spread out. Got two fingers in the middle.
Okay.
You know, then you put the two fingers in here and then go like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I told her. Learn something new every day.
Yeah. I learned that yesterday that I was all right.
We're going to go to Galatians chapter 5. Oh, boy, I spelled that all very wrong.
Galatians 5.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You already know. I saw it down at first. $17. No, so on verse 16.
Galatians 5, verse 16. This I say then, walk in the spirit.
Do what?
Walk in the spirit.
Right.
And ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. But if ye be led of the spirit, ye are not under the law.
The law of sin. Come on.
Now the works of the flesh are manifest.
So now it's showing you like the works of the flesh are manifested, right? So we just went through all these different scenarios to prove what were the works of the flesh, who were after the flesh and who were after the spirit. Come on.
Which are these? Adultery.
Right. So when with the Pharisees, right? What did they tell the Messiah? This woman was, caught in adultery.
Yeah,
so
in a very act of it.
In a very act. One of them had to be the adulterer.
Right.
Come on.
Right. Fornication, uncleanliness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft,
right,
hatred.
Right. So we just talked about hatred, how Ishmael hated Isaac. He tried to kill him with the bow.
Mm-hmm.
Right. The Pharisees tried to kill who? The Messiah. The churches tried to kill Paul. They stoned Paul. Come on.
Variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envyings.
Right.
We don't talk about that enough, man.
Envying?
Yeah, we don't talk about that much, man. I know that there's a lot of envy amongst Israel today. It could be whether they got, a clothing line out. They making some chains, they breaking down the scriptures, well, a great recall, have a deeper voice, can read better. Right. There's a lot of envying going on, amongst Israel. You know what I'm saying? And when you feel that vibration, hit you, we have to combat it. It ain't the envying is one of the works of the flesh. It ain't one of those, oh, this is not a sin, I wish I had that, but it ain't even that type of wish, what I'm saying? It's like you envying the person so bad, it's like you don't want that person to have that. You know what I mean? We all have our special talents and stuff like that, or whatever the case may be, But you know, to envy somebody, you know, over what they have or what the Most High put upon them to have, or whatever the case may be, you know, it's like all praise and hallelujah. But don't be envious, you know, of your brothers and sisters.
That's right.
You know, because that only leads to other negative, you know, thoughts, and then those thoughts might turn into whispering and backbiting, and then that might turn into hatred and killing and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, watch out for envying, y'all. Murderers.
Who?
Murderers.
They were trying to murder who? The Messiah, Paul, all the apostles, anybody who preached the true gospel. Those are the ones they try to murder. Those that were born of the flesh, not born of the spirit.
Right. Drunkenness, revelings, and such like, of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of Yahweh. But the fruits of the Spirit is love,
Right.
joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith.
What?
Faith
in who?
in Yahweh Shah.
That's right.
Meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law.
Right.
And they that are Hamashiach have crucified the flesh.
They did what?
Have crucified the flesh.
No, crucified the spirit.
Have crucified the flesh.
So those that put on Christ crucified the flesh. They killed the flesh, right? Come on.
And it says too also this, my brother, because you can kill something, you know what I'm saying, with a sword, you know, in the gut, and then fall over and die. Or you can shoot somebody now or whatever. But crucifixion, now that's a horrible death, you know what I'm saying? And crucifixion, it took a while, you know what I'm saying, for a person to die. So that when you kill that flesh, you know what I'm saying, it ain't no, just like how we read it. And they that are Hamashiach have crucified the flesh. That's easy to say. You know what I mean? It's an easy sentence to say. But to crucify your flesh, that's something that's very difficult, obviously. You know what I mean? Because if it was easy, you know what I'm saying, we all would have been at the kingdom already. But we're trying to get it right, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. So crucifying the flesh, you know what I'm saying, is a difficult thing. And we have to always remember, like what we've been reading out through the scriptures and what you bringing out, is that there's always a battle, you know what I'm saying, with inside the spirit and the flesh, with inside yourself, or with inside, you know, the outside world, or amongst, you know, Israel as we know it. Want me to continue reading?
Yeah, we're just going to finish it out.
Verse 25. No, verse 24 again. And they that are Hamashiach have crucified the flesh with the affections and lusts. With the affections and lusts.
That's right.
So there's like Hagar was considered the flesh. And then Ishmael was affection and lust on that, or you know what I'm saying? Children are this. I'm just asking, is the flesh has children, affections, and lust? You know what I'm saying? And whatnot? Are you getting what I'm saying? A little taste.
Break it down.
Well, meaning this, Hagar represent the flesh, right?
Right.
And it says, and they that are Christ have crucified the flesh, right? And then remember when Sarah slapped the mess out of Hagar,
right?
You know what I'm saying, she fled, right? And then when Ishmael was trying to kill Isaac, the flesh had to go, which was Hagar representing that. But not only the flesh had to go, her son Ishmael had to go too. So it says right here that those who are in Hamashiach have crucified the flesh, Hagar, the flesh with the affections and the lust.
Right.
So, you know, Ishmael got to go too.
Right. So he would be considered like the lust.
Or affections, you know what I'm saying, and the lust.
Right.
That's what I was getting at.
I get you.
Okay, this. If we live in the spirit, let us also walk in the spirit. Let us not be desirous of vainglory,
That's right.
provoking one another, envying one another.
Let's see if how you go back. How you go back?
No, here. Here. You want to go back to do that. Stop sharing.
Shalom, family. Just make sure everybody got some understanding. If everybody got some understanding, just put some 9s up in the room. Just say, man,
Verse 13.
no, cool.
2 by yeah.
Yeah, I see 2 by yeah.
Kanya. Well, they be putting up scriptures up in this deal. You know what I'm saying? Woo-wee! Yeah, what's gonna happen when the electricity and what's that thing called? The internet, you know, they take away the electricity and internet from us. We gotta be prepared, y'all. You know what I mean? Have our little pockets of like how we was talking about. Little pockets of land and whatnot, you know. We gotta come together. I hope y'all out there making what's that word? Provisions. You know what I mean, with like-minded Israelites, you know, to come together. Because as we know, California burning. My daughter, she sent me a video. It was windy like a mug, and there was a fire going close. I ain't gonna say close by where she lived at, but you know, in the vicinity, you know what I'm saying, where she was at. And I had told her, you know, hey, like how Lot had to get out of Sodom and Gomorrah. I said, y'all need to get up out of there, you know. And you know, they I'm the dad, you know what I'm saying, and it's like, oh, okay, Dad. But you know, hey, as long as I was able to tell them, you know what I'm saying, and give them warning, that's all good.
Right.
You know, and hopefully, you know what I'm saying, they'll listen. But you know, they're children of the flesh. And, you know, I had them, you know, when I was out there in the world, and they see me and they see me and they perceive me now still, because we don't talk as much as we should as that guy back then. But now, you know, I have children now that are under the Spirit, and they're being raised and trained up in the Spirit, you know, right. And they listen, you know, and hopefully, you know, if the Most High doesn't send Christ before, you know, they get to a certain age, when they do get to that certain age, you know, hopefully they'll continue to listen and pay heed to what I've been teaching them. But I just wanted to say that, you know.
Hey, all praise. Hey, oh, shoot.
You know, I just wanted to say that.
Have the floor. But yeah, all praises to the Most High and His only begotten blood Son. I'm glad everybody got some understanding. And in due time, Most High be with everybody. Shalom. We're gonna end it with a prayer.
Yes, sir. Let's do it. Which songs you want to end it with? Huh?
Oh man, tell Amir pick a number. Amir pick a number.
Amir pick a number.
5.
All right, Psalms 5. Psalms 5 it is. Psalms 5 it is, Bond. So you got the son with you.
Yeah. Got my guy with me. Right here, right there.
All righty.
All right.
You know how to read yet? You know how to read good yet? Pretty good with a strong voice? How old are you right now? You 8? Ooh, wait, I remember. All right, y'all. You ready? Psalms chapter 5. Give ear to my words, O Yahweh. Consider my meditation. Hearken unto the voice of my cry, my King and my Elohim. For unto thee will I pray. My voice shalt thou hear in the morning, O Yahweh. In the morning will I direct my prayer unto thee, and I will look up, for thou art not a Elohim that have pleasure in wickedness, neither shall evil dwell with thee. The foolish shall not stand in thy sight. Thou hatest all workers of iniquity. Thou shalt destroy them. that speak leasing. The Most High will abhor the bloody and deceitful man. But as for me, I will come into the house in the multitude of thy mercy, and in thy fear will I worship towards the holy temple. Lead me, O Yahweh, in thy righteousness, because of my enemies make thy way straight before my face. For there is no faithfulness in their mouth. Their inward part is very wickedness. Their throat is an open sepulchre. They flatter with their tongue. Destroy thou them, O Yahweh. Let them fall by their own counsels. Cast them out in the multitude of their transgressions, for they have rebelled against thee. But let all those that put their trust in thee rejoice. Let them ever shout for joy, because thou defendest them. Let them also that love thy name be joyful in thee. For the Most High will bless the righteous. For the Most High will bless the righteous. With favor will thou compass him as with a shield. Hallelujah! Selah! Yahoo! That was good, brother. That was good. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know me, I'm not speaking. You got to end this.
Shalom, family. Most High bless, Most High be with everybody tonight, man. Love y'all indeed and in truth. And Lord's will, we'll see y'all soon. How you say it? Sooner than later.
Yeah, I've seen it sooner than later.
And keep your brothers and your sisters in prayers.
And hope to see y'all at the Feast of Dedication, man. You know, we the info is in the description box. You know, we already got a venue. Normally I would say a place, but a venue already what's that thing called? When you already have it, when you already got booked. Yeah, we got a venue booked. Come on down, man, and visit y'all brothers and sisters, man, out here in the STL. You know, send some emails and stuff if y'all need some place to lay y'all heads and stuff like that, or whatever the case may be. You know, we can try to put y'all up here at HQ or put y'all up in different brothers and sisters' houses and whatnot. You know, y'all come on down. We don't want the Most High feast days to be grievous to none of y'all. You know, but you know, we are ordered to fellowship with each other. So we would love for y'all to come down. You know, please don't come down with no preconceived thoughts. You know what I mean, about checking anybody or you know, snatching up. What you say, Bruce? Yeah, leave your demons and doctrines at home. You know, we go definitely, you know, say leave ours, you know, in our houses too, man. You know, but y'all come on down, man. You know what I'm saying? It's ordered for us to fellowship, and it's ordered for us to come together, you know, and how we go be able to truly love each other and love one another.
We never around.
If we're not around each other, or if we're not even shaking hands or hugging and seeing each other, you know, saying at least once before we get to the kingdom. So, you know, again, think about that, family. And if it's possible, and if it's in the Most High's will for y'all to come down, I can't wait to see you. Shalom.
Shalom, family.
Yo.